What is going on? I'm Zedmod. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. That's right, we're going to do some loinclothing. We're going to throw on our loincloth, take our shirts off, and get crazy. Speaking of getting crazy, bottle on the beach. Ancient legends talk about them. Yeah, anyways. My last video was all Zuka map clear, and the feedback was frankly amazing. You guys loved it, and there's tons of comments, tons of info, and so the number one thing people asked for was warriors. So we're going to do warriors, and the number one reason why we're going to do warriors is the Emberfury tribe. 55% warrior health is a big, big deal. Please get your warriors on. Warriors are probably the strongest troop for PvP from low level to high level. You can take down basically any base using them if your statues are right or boosted or whatever, and they range from like XP 20 to XP 65 and every possible VP. And the best part about them is they are crazy cheap and they reload crazy fast. So if you don't have instant training, they are a great option. Obviously they suck for crab and they suck for operations, but for PvP and for Dr. T, they're fantastic. So we're going to use bullit. I really, really do like using brick with them, but today we're going to use bullit, and we're just going to see what we can do with them. So, sadly, they broke flotsams. I used to love flotsams, and they made them so they don't explode after the base, so they're kind of useless. And with warriors, I mean, this flotsam's not going to do anything against us, I don't think. So, I don't know if this is going to be entertaining or educational or what, but hopefully you guys get something out of this. One thing is for sure, I always use ground flares with warriors. You have to use ground flares with warriors or you're doing it wrong in my professional opinion. Now, we're going to throw 2 critters and we're going to throw 2 shocks, and we're just going to wait for things to go boom. And I mean, that attack was average at best. My warrior attacks I haven't used warriors in quite a while, so it's going to take a bit of time to get up to snuff, but at least we got a crystal. I mean, we lost 11 warriors against a base with some ice and some prototypes. Not super great. I think we can do far, far better than that. Now, one thing that I always do with warriors is I always use 1 smoke. It's very, very, very rare that I ever use more than 1 smoke. Just a matter of figuring out where that smoke needs to be. I will make a few mistakes until we get our things dialed in, and then we should be able to do a bit better. So you'll notice that nice straight line. If you draw a line from the front of any of those boats right to the flag, it's the shortest possible path, or close to anyways. So we're going to get quite like that. You don't have to, that's the beauty of bullit. You don't have to wait for the warriors to get to the flare, because bullit will taunt from exactly where you want him to regardless. Now, I think it was Savage Warrior way back in the day came up with the two shocks, 2 critters number, and that number is basically the perfect number. I think it's 40 GBE if I remember correctly. So maybe that's actually 36 plus the taunt, somewhere in that neighborhood of 36 to 40 GBE. Back-to-back crystal, we're on a run. Let's keep rolling before the game RNGs me out of some more crystals. Now, this hotpot would be a concern, but it's just going to hit bullit. So I think it will anyways. I haven't dealt with hotpots in a long time, so we're just going to see how this goes. I tend to use GBE poorly when it comes to warriors. I do things like I throw way too many barrages and crap like that. So this base is nice enough to have nice straight lines. If you see someone who has straight lines on their base, please tell them they're doing it wrong. You want to make troops make turns or something. So this base, obviously, our troops ran straight up. We could flare the headquarters without having to worry about anything. Now, I realize I always end up with a bunch of extra GBE. I throw 2 critters, 2 shocks, and then just throw the rest in medkits. Once I start getting into 3 shocks or throwing extra critters or whatever it might be, I find that I end up making more mistakes, and I like to keep it as simple as possible. I'm losing quite a few troops here, which is a bit sad, but we'll get there. I'm quite confident we'll get there. I don't know what the other tribe is. Are our tribes critters right now? I can't remember. I feel like I should know what our tribes are, but I don't. So we're going to do something a little bit different here. Let's use one more barrage. What the heck? Let's use one more barrage. I probably, actually, you know what? I definitely should have not used a barrage there, but at least we got 3 GBE back. Now we're going to do a little bit different drop here. We're going to drop bullit right at our flare, and he's going to distract that rocket launcher for a second. And then we're going to flare all the way to that back corner. Again, maybe shouldn't have done that, but at least bullit is out front, which is fairly important because he's going to clear at least one mine for us, maybe. Now, a lot of you probably would have done the trick where you use, you can actually keep it so that you use one boat of warriors for mine clearing, and then they clear mines for the rest of your warriors, but I don't tend to do that for whatever reason. Let's throw some critters back here, and we're going to throw a shock right about there, and on that one, trying to distract that shock launcher behind the core so that it doesn't shoot our warriors. Not bad. I think we lost 3 warriors there. Getting slightly better, bit by bit. Facing off more ice than we should at this VP for sure. Now, reason why I'm using this account is this is actually a 5 GBE, 5 troop damage account. I just went onto my what's it called, radar over here, and checked the percentages, and it had a more full map than my other account, which is kind of nice because I find with 3 troop damage, warriors, you end up losing more warriors simply because they end up banging away at the headquarters longer, and while they're banging away, the shocks expire or buildings focus from bullit onto something else. How did that barrage miss that boom mine? I don't really know. Anyways, I really do prefer at least 4 troop damage when it comes to warriors. Let me know what your statue layout you prefer is, but I find that 4 really does make things better, and you don't need quite as much GBE with warriors because if they walk out of smoke, you really don't care because they have a bit more health, they're a bit stronger, same shock and critters, and bullit is going to take all of the abuse from the front, and our critters are going to take all the abuse from the sides and back. Now, I really, really do like to keep it as simple as possible, and that way, bullet to the front, which cuts off most of that, and that's why he's so fantastic. Man, I am just getting crystals left, right, and center. How many crystals is that so far? Let's have a look here. So we've got, is that from today? No, that's old. Let's have a look here. Crystal 1, 2, 3 crystals in, what's that, 5 bases? Not a bad day whatsoever. 3 powder. Crystal, powder, same difference. Now, there are many, many ways to use warriors, and so if you guys have different ways of using warriors, for example, if you're dropping behind the core and letting them come forward or something like that, would love to hear it. Would love to see it. If you have any comments on my drops, on anything at all, you'll notice I always drop bullit first. And the reason for that is he is slightly slower than warriors, and so by having him out front, you at least keep him somewhere close to your troops, because that way your warriors aren't running away from him. I find with brick, you have to be a little bit more careful. You have to obviously wait for them to get to in the right spot, otherwise brick's battle orders isn't going to affect all your troops, which can be a problem. I mean, with this base, all we really need is 1 set of critters, and we're just going to use critters, actually, for that matter. We don't need anything else, because nothing is behind the core, and so we should have 0 losses. Yes, we did. So that's why having bullit, he basically took out everything. That 1 mortar that back there threw 1 shot towards our warriors, but a very, very back base with bullit is just super, super easy. Now, there are a couple tricks with bullit that hopefully I'll get to show off. Now, with taunt is up there. This is absolutely perfect. So, taunt, if you're in the blind spot of a building, you don't need to shock it. So, This shock launcher, we're going to sit directly in its blind spot, and by doing so, we don't have to shock it, which saves us a shock, saves us GBE, and when you're facing off against very, very tough bases, it makes life so much easier. So like facing those like 7 ice bases or whatever with shield gens and stuff, if you can park bullet in the shock launcher's blind spot, like watch this, we're not going to shock that, we're going to go 1, 2, we'll shock here and back here, and then medkits with all the rest of our GBE. Look at that shock launcher. It's not shocked, and it's not throwing anything our way. Just anytime you see a shock launcher next to the headquarters, make sure you get bullet in there, and it will not do anything, and you can neutralize one of their most critical weapons. So with warriors and bullet, you need to be wary of shock launchers and shock blasters, but when you can get them in the blind spot like that, basically eliminates them. Same with that rocket launcher, it's not going to fire. So we're going to go wide right because I don't really want to have to shock past that microwaver. You know what? Let's just go past the microwaver. Whatever. We'll just do something a bit ridiculous and silly. There's no reason why anyone in their right mind would run past that, but we're not in our right mind. So we're going to run past it just to make them shake their head when they watch our replay. So bullet out front, warriors in a nice line behind it. Shock launcher's not going to have time to catch on to anyone. Nice ground flare. Smoke, 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 shock, smoke, smoke, smoke. And that should get us onto the headquarters past that microwaver, and not bad. I love running past microwavers. It's a little bit sketchy, little bit scary, but I think we should be able to get there without a lot of difficulty. Bullet getting shot, warriors doing all their work, and 0 losses again? Yes, 0 losses again. So we're getting warmed up, getting back into the groove of things. As you saw, I threw the critters on the right-hand side because the left-hand side was going to target bullet, was my thinking. And we managed to shock past a microwaver, which is always a good time. When the microwaver's next to core, it's a bit more difficult, but that's where that extra troop damage really, really comes in handy. This is quite the base. We should be able to 0 loss this as well. Gonna be wonky because we can't use a ground... Actually, I guess you know what? We can use a ground flare. I'm gonna go off to the side here, and that's going to allow us to use a ground flare. I really, really like ground flares with warriors. It just makes them walk so much skinnier. Now, before we get to that flare, I'm going to flare onto the HQ, which is going to get all of our dudes nice and tucked in underneath that smoke. And now we just need to go critter, and I'm going to shock as soon as bullet gets his taunt out, and that should cover all of the good stuff. So 0 losses back to back. Woot, 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 I suppose. That doesn't really count, though. That base is a terrible, terrible setup. I guess maybe it works against like tank medic or something like that, but against warriors, it has 0 chance. Why the mines are at the back, I don't really know. Maybe they're trying to drop VP. But anyways, hopefully you guys there's something here that you're seeing or learning or entertaining or something, because with the Zuka map clear, you guys, the feedback, blew me away. I did not expect anything like that. I'm pretty stoked to hear that some of you are still playing standard. You're not just playing warships, you're playing PvP, you're playing operations. Because I gotta admit, I was a little bit worried that regular gameplay was going away, so stoked to hear that it's not. Now, I'm wondering if we can actually shock, if bullet can distract both of those shock launchers. I really, really do doubt it, though. So we're gonna go like this, and like this, and like this, and I just broke my only throw 2 shocks rule, because I just forgot what I was doing, and we lost some troops as a result. So only threw 1 set of critters, should have thrown 2, threw 3 shocks, should have thrown 2. Bit of a screw up, but Pingu gets some intel and diamonds out of that deal, so at least there's that. I don't know who Pingu is. I think they had all offensive, though. So I really do wish I could get some strong... Ooh, look at that. That's nice. Tube socks with the microwaver right next to the core. They do not like warriors, and I am fully on board with bringing my warriors into that area and seeing if we can't take them down. So this is a me versus tube socks. Let's just get it going. This is something that really is not something you probably should do, but what the heck, let's get going. Again, straight lines though, so hopefully we can get in there. I'm going to throw a med kit, we're going to throw a shock, and hopefully, where's Bullet at? Bullet's over to that side. Let's go critter, shock, and nope, don't have enough GBE for that extra shock. So hopefully Bullet will take that Doom Cannon's first shot. Oh, we lost 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 warriors, sadly, but I love taking down bases that have microwavers right next to the core, because you know they want nothing more than to stop warrior users, and so we still came in and kicked their butt. You really do have to watch that microwaver though. 55% troop health is not enough to stop a microwaver from melting your warriors. So hopefully, if you guys have never played Duplexity, with Duplexity you learn to deal with microwavers, but the problem is there's not enough people play Duplexity for starters, and secondly, there's no microwavers on War Factory or Dr. T or anything like that, so we just don't get enough experience playing with them. Obviously it's in Crab as well, but doesn't really cut it. Now that shock launcher, again, is in a terrible spot, so we don't have to worry about that. Medkit, taunt, critter, and hopefully down goes Daniel 66 with, look at that, 0 losses with a shock blaster right behind the core and 2 other prototypes there. So using 2 critters, 2 shocks, just so effective. And let me know if you use 2 critters, 1 shock, or 2 or 3 shocks, or what sort of combo you use. I really do like 2 and 2, but if you guys have different combos you like to use, or maybe you don't have enough GBE or something. Now this base, obviously we need to be aware that grappler is probably going to grab Bullet, but we can actually use that to our advantage, because if it's going to grab Bullet and we shock accordingly, I'm going to throw a shock behind, or maybe it won't actually even get him because my critters are going to be there. Either way, we should be in good shape. Even with the grappler, we only need 1 smoke. All of our dudes are going to run, get underneath that smoke, and then run forward. So nice straight lines. Oh, we lost a warrior. Not the end of the world, but not ideal, obviously. So now, one of the problems I have here is that I threw my smokes way awkward. So Bullet's going to get grabbed, then I'm going to throw my shocks back here, and Bullet's going to get pulled right inside the grappler. Oh, they didn't pull Bullet. That's a little bit unfortunate. So all of my best laid plans got absolutely wrecked. Kind of surprised the grappler grabbed something. I thought Bullet taunt would have either shut it down or it would have grabbed him, but clearly my critters were too early or something, so we lost a few troops there. So screw up on my part. I think our map is done. I think we're at probably 1714, I'm guessing. 1714. If you don't know what that is, please do hit me up in the comments. I can explain that. You can use that to your advantage. Now, let's just go like this, and we'll go like this, and like this, and like this, and that should be enough for us to take down stage 1. I realize probably should have just done artillery and barrage on the headquarters. Now, if you're not on Discord yet, please do join. I've noticed the last little bit Discord has started to pick up again. The Boom Beach official Discord, that I think it's discord.gg/boombeach. Lots of great conversations on there, lots of grumpy people about warships, but also lots of people who are still enjoying the game and still having great times and sharing their knowledge and asking questions and making memes and all that sort of fun stuff. So please do join the official Boom Beach Discord and chat and all of that fun stuff. It was advertised in game a while back, so if you're looking for the link, either check the description down below, hit me up in the comments, or you can always go through the game, go through the boombox and all that sort of fun stuff. So let me know which troops you'd like to know me to use next, whether it's heavy Zuka or all rifles or whatever. I'd prefer if it were legitimate troops. I mean, I can use all heavies or something like that too, but let's do our old 2 smoke drop right into here, and we'll see exactly where we can get to with this. I have not used warriors against Dr. T in a long time. Should be able to get everyone underneath there. We're going to go 1-2 into there. Have we lost a troop yet? No, we have not, thankfully. Now, Bullet is going to taunt some stuff behind us, and once you figure out the angles, I mean, we don't even need to use shocks, but you can, I mean, that's what I should try and do. I should try and take down, like, stage 5 with no shocks, because once you figure out the angle with Bullet and critters, you don't even need shocks to take down most bases. I won't say all bases, because some bases are just so well done and have so much ice that that's definitely not an option. Really wish we would have ran into some shield gens today. But, so this one, for example, I think we can probably get away with no shocks. We'll just have to place Bullet a little bit carefully. Those machine guns at the back are probably going to do us some damage, but not a big deal. Now, and it's kind of nice having to do Dr. T with warriors, because we are actually grabbing onto some buildings, which I didn't do at all in the last videos, in the last PvP attacks. So, kind of nice to have to anchor our troops before we get to the headquarters. Not that you necessarily had to, but it just makes things a little bit easier. We're going to throw our taunt here, and we're going to go bang, bang, medkit, medkit, medkit. And we should be able to take this down without using any shocks whatsoever. Just Bullet getting shot in the face, and we lost a total of 1 warrior, probably to that sniper tower, I'm guessing, or maybe the machine gun that was getting our troops at the very back. So don't need shocks with warriors as long as you have critters. Oh, we lost 2 warriors, darn. As long as you have Bullet and some critters. I mean, once you hit, and that's part of the reason why I've kept my TMOS account at XP 46. As soon as you get to HQ 19, all sorts of super strong options are available to you. I mean, having Bullet, having critters is just so good, and just gives you so many more options. I mean, obviously Brick is pretty great for warriors, but nothing compares to Bullet. Nothing compares to... Isn't that is that Alanis Morissette? Or who sings that? Oh, that's Sinead O'Connor, right. So we're going to try one more time to see if we can't go critter, and just lots and lots of medkits. Obviously taunt, and all that extra troop damage is paying huge dividends here. Without that extra troop damage, probably would have had to do at least 1 more swing of the hammer, maybe even 2, and would have lost a few more warriors. So I really do... Oh, look at that. Speaking of extra crystals today, boo, yeah. This has been a crazy good day. I think I probably made at least 7 powder on this day. Great day. I don't have Power Stone chance either, so great day for powder for me, and I definitely need it. I am very short on powder always. I am using diamonds every day on my sculptor, and it pains me, but whatever. We're going to go like this, nice straight line over into here, and then we're going to run right up into here. Oh, I'm just getting absolutely wrecked. That flare was super late, but one more time. I don't think we're going to need any shocks at all to take this base down, because Bullet is going to be standing in front of basically everything, and as long as I can get my critters out before that shock launcher fires, we should be in good shape. So medkits all the way, 1 more taunt, and hopefully we can take this down with no shocks whatsoever. See, if we only had 3 troop damage, this would not go down, because our warriors are just getting picked off left, right, and center, because we don't have any GBE left for taunts. So although maybe with 3 troop damage we'd have extra GBE for taunts, anyways, I like 5 troop damage with warriors. I think it is absolutely awesome and fun. But obviously we were aided by the Emberfury tribe coming in hot. Oh, we got a new base. Look at that. Perfect. Last base of the day. Level 60. Nothing exciting though. I was really hoping for someone to have a hot pot next to the core. That is my favorite, when someone runs a hot pot or a, what is that thing called? A boom surprise next to the core, because that is the most fun with warriors. Sending your troops right up on top of the hot pot is so good. Oops, lost 1 warrior on the shore landing. That's unfortunate, but flaring the core. I just like to get them walking in that nice, super skinny line, and then we can flare the core. And let's not use shocks one more time. Medkits, critter, medkits, and down goes Chinese squiggle name, losing a couple warriors in the process, but Actually, only one, I think. Only at shore, even. That one warrior got shot at shore. After that, did not lose a single troop. So, just beasting through our map clear. Warriors work without smoke at low HQ levels, then they work all the way up to leaderboard bases. Check my channel. I'll put a card. I took down bases with over 2 million health using warriors. I think that was back before bullit got nerfed, maybe? Anyways, if you have a different troop you want to see, please do let me know, whether it is CRZM or RCZM as it's supposed to be called, or Grand Medic, or whatever it might be. I have decent skills with many troop combos, so if you'd like to see anything, please do let me know. Seems like you guys were really stoked on the Zuka map clear, and a bunch of you requested the Warrior map clear, so I'm going to try and do a map clear every week or 2 or 3, just to try and keep that side of the game going, because it also, one of the side benefits is it actually boosts my intel numbers, so my task force will not complain. I'm sitting at Warships Legendary 2. My other account, which I started later, actually was at Legendary 3 earlier. Slightly different build-outs, so I'll talk about that in a different video. But anyways, that's it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this map clear. Hopefully you were entertained or learned something, or somewhere in between. If you have any comments on any of the attacks, please do let me know. Love to hear your feedback on how I can improve, or what you learned, or whatever it might be. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm Zedmont. Thanks for coming in. Peace.